Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In today's video, we'll be looking at Parkinson's disease. So, Parkinson's disease it is a progressive nervous system disorder that affects how a person moves, and it also affects muscle control and balance. So, this condition is caused by the gradual loss of brain cells that produce dopamine. And dopamine is basically a chemical messenger that helps to control smooth and coordinated body movements. So this disease, it usually starts slowly with tremors like shaking, then slowness of movement, stiffness, and later it progresses to affect the person's speech. It also affects walking and even mood or how the person thinks. So Parkinson's disease, it actually has no cure, but with proper treatment, symptoms can be managed effectively, and patients can live meaningful lives for many years. So this Parkinson's disease, it typically begins between the ages of 50 and 70, but it can also occur earlier than this age, and it is more common in men than women. So the disease worsens over time, but the speed of progression varies between individuals. So, for the exact cause of Parkinson's disease is not fully understood, but is believed to be due to a combination of genetic and environmental factors. So, the key causes and risk factors include loss of dopamine producing brain cells in a region called the substantia nigra, then genetic mutations in rare cases, then exposure to toxins like pesticides or heavy metals, then having a family history of Parkinson's disease, and aging. So aging actually increases vulnerability of our brain cells. So this substantia nigra is a part of the brain that controls movement, and it is this part of the brain that produces dopamine, the chemical messenger that acts as a transmitter between nerve cells. So in Parkinson's disease, the dopamine producing cells they gradually die and dopamine levels drop. Then movement becomes slow, stiff, and uncoordinated. So when this messenger cannot transmit signals between these cells, that is what is actually the problem in um, Parkinson's disease, because these dopamine cells, um, these producing cells, they are dying off. So over time, other parts of the brain are also affected, leading to changes in mood, sleep, and memory. So, symptoms of Parkinson's disease develop slowly, and it can be grouped into movement related, that is motor symptoms, and non movement related, that is non motor symptoms. So, looking at the movement related symptoms, there's tremor, that is shaking, which is usually starting in the hands or fingers, and it usually occurs when at rest. Then muscle stiffness, especially in the arms, the legs, or the neck. Then slowness of movement, difficulty initiating movement or walking. Then balance problems like increased risk of falling and all that. Then um shuffling gaits, that is short dragging steps while walking, so you cannot walk easily, like you have a strain when you're walking. Then loss of facial expression, like having a masked face. Then for the non-movement related symptoms, we have depression or anxiety, then memory problems or confusion, sleep disturbances, constipation, having a low blood pressure when standing, reduced sense of smell, and having soft or slurred speech. So for the diagnosis is not we don't only use one single test to confirm Parkinson's disease. Diagnosis is usually clinical and is based on number one, the patient's history and symptoms. Then physical examination, checking for the signs and symptoms of Parkinson's disease like tremor, stiffness, change in balance. Then response to medication. So symptoms often improve with drugs that increase dopamine. So the doctor would usually give like drugs that specifically target dopamine producing cells. And when the doctor says that okay, these drugs are making this kind of reducing the symptoms. So this is kind of like a way to tell that okay, the person has Parkinson's disease. Then imaging tests too, which are done in selected cases, such as brain scans to basically rule out other conditions that might be causing all these brain related symptoms. So for the treatment, although there is actually no cure for Parkinson's disease, the treatments actually help to control the symptoms and improve the quality of life of the person. So some medications that can help, like levodopa, which is the most effective drug, and the body converts it to dopamine that can help with the symptoms. Then we also have carbidopa, which is given with levodopa to reduce side effects and help more levodopa to reach the brain. Then dopamine agonists, they mimic dopamine action in the brain, so they can help with the condition. Then monoamine oxidase B inhibitors, they help to prevent the breakdown of dopamine. Then we also have anticholinergics help to that help reduce the tremor in early stages. Then amantadine, which is used to treat stiffness and tremor in the early stages of Parkinson's disease. Then we have non-drug therapy like physiotherapy, which helps to improve the person's mobility and balance, occupational therapy, which helps patients with daily activities, speech therapy for patients that their speech has been affected, so they have slurred speech or weak voice, so speech therapy can help in this case. Then um psychological support for patients that may be experiencing depression or anxiety, which is like a non-motor one of the non-motor symptoms that we see in Parkinson's disease. Then surgical treatments can be done for advanced cases. So there's something known as deep brain stimulation. So a device is implanted to deliver electrical signals to specific brain areas to reduce these tremors and stiffness. So for the management of Parkinson's disease, it's good to advise these patients to undergo regular exercise, which will help to maintain their flexibility and their balance. Then healthy diet too. A healthy diet helps to support energy levels and prevents constipation. Then some fall prevention measures can be done, like um, wearing non-slip shoes and having walking aids. Then medication timing. So it's essential that um, the medications that are taken at the right time that they are meant to be taken, because it will help with the effectiveness, especially levodopa. So levodopa should not be taken with high protein meals. Then also side effects have to be monitored, like side effects of these drugs are used to manage the symptoms, because there could be side effects like hallucinations, dizziness, and even some involuntary movements. So, in summary, this Parkinson's disease is a progressive brain disorder that affects movement and coordination due to loss of dopamine producing cells, and it causes tremors, stiffness, and slowness of movement. And it can also affect the person's mood, sleep, and memory. So while there is no cure, there are the symptoms can be managed with proper treatments, proper medications, therapies, and support. So that is it for this topic. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.